Mesnevi, selection 10. Patience and perseverance under a teacher. Kusamadin, light of the truth, take up, my friend, a sheet that thou a teacher's virtues mayest append. True, thou'rt not strong, thy frame is delicate at best, but thou'rt the sun that lights my thoughts to their safe nest. Thou art both lamp and lantern, all in one, dost see, guide to my heart's behests, clue to my wish, thou'rt he. Their thread is in thy hand, thy guidance can it shift, the pearls upon it strung are gems, thy soul's free gift. Write down the qualities by which a teacher's known, select thy teacher first, then follow all he's shown. A teacher's summer's glow, called winter crowd terrene, the rabble's darkness self, the teacher, moon serene. Young fortunate have I named my teacher for the nonce, young fortune, truth's real teacher, vigorous at once. An ancient teacher he, commencement he ne'er had, a solitary pearl, all peerless, never sad. Increase of age gives wine fresh strength, as well as known, especially truth's wine that flows from God's high throne. Select a teacher then, without such travels vain. The way is dangerous, beset with evil's train. By well-known road, though traveled many times before, without a guide to venture, opens peril's door. How then an unknown path thou ne'er hast followed yet? Go not alone without a guide, act not in fret, unless thy teacher be at hand to lead thee right. The clamors of the demons surely feel affright. Those demons will mislead thee, into danger cast. More clever ones than thou have lost their wits at last. Learn from the prophet's words the error of their ways, how Satan led them far astray in bygone days. From off the track to all that's good, he them misled, them carried off, them rendered blind, by vain thoughts fed. Behold their bones, their skeletons along the road. Take warning thence, drive not thy beast with maddening goad. Dismount and to the rightful path, safe lead him back. Where guides abound, experienced travelers dot the track. Leave not thy beast, his rein loose not thou from thy hand. His inclination is to wander o'er the land. One moment only leave him carelessly to roam. Towards the pastures he at once will rush all foam. Thy beast is not a friend traveling by the road. How many muleteers through this have lost a load? Knowest not the way? Observe which path thy beast would take, and follow the reverse. Secure this, thee will make. Consult thou them, but then do not what they advise. For he who them opposes not, to ruin hies. Lend not thyself to lust, and fancies every wind, for these are what lead men astray, to God's truth blind. There is nothing in the world that better curbs the lusts than holy company, protected he who trusts. The prophet said to Ali, cousin, list to me, lion of the truth, art thou a hero, see? Trust not too much, however, to thy courage soul. Confide much rather on God's aim to keep thee whole. Put faith and aid from his divine, omniscient mind, that never can be baffled by disputant blind. His shadow on earth is what keeps it in place. His spirit, sunbirded like, soars in supernal space. Were I to speak his praises until judgment day, no end, no interruption would it my say. Himself he's veiled in man, as sun behind a cloud. This seek to comprehend. God knows what mysteries shroud. The sun he is, the son of spirit, not of sky. By light from him man lives, and angels or by an alley of all service man can offer here. Do thou choose trust in God, dependence firm, sincere. Each man betakes himself some special worship too, and each some special friend selects without ado. Do thou take refuge in God's wisdom, full divine. He'll foil the secret foe that would thee undermine. Of all the modes of worship, this choose thou the best. Outdistance all competitors, the prize outrest. Thy teacher having chosen thus obedience yield, implicit, even as Moses journeying o'er that field. Whatever events the tide beware and question not, for fear thy guide should turn and drive thee from the spot. Should he destroy a ship, no murmur from thy mouth. Should he an infant choke, let slip no word uncouth. He hath declared his hand. It's like the hand of God, by saying God's right hand above all hands doth plod. God's hand it is that kills him, makes him living too. But what is living? The everlasting spirit, lo, whatever journeys now and then, this road alone, prayers of saints, it is, leads him to safety's zone. A saint's protection is not less than angel's aid. His help is God's right hand, when all is truly said. Now, if an absent saint have such pretentious power, a present teacher's honor, sure, must higher tower. It for the absent tempting, the ons are prepared, for present guests, what may not largely be outshared. The varlet, who to serve his lord is present there, must rank before the absentee for goodly fare. Thus, having teacher chosen, be not too thin-skinned, nor wishy-washy, to a muddy puddle kinned. For every buffet, see thou, do not umbrage take. How can a mirror polished be, unless it bear a shake? Here now, its pregnant tale, narrators have preserved. A practice it relates, in Cosween much observed. Upon the breast, the arms, the blade bones, and the like, with needles, point, and indigo, tattooed designs they strike. A certain Cosween fully to an artist hired to have a brave design imprinted on his hide. The artist first inquired what pattern he'd select. The man, a lion rampant, thought he must elect, and said, my luck resides in Leo, lion sign. Depict thou then a lion, deep blue stained, benign. The artist then demanded where he'd wished it done. The man replied, between my blade bones, it enthroned. The artist then began to ply his needles, train. The Cosween fully bellowed, smarting with the pain. The artist he addressed, most clever man of skill, thou drive me mad. What picture works me so much ill? Said he, a lion's form is what thou didst enjoin. Oh yes, replied the bully. What part dost thou coin? Artist, at the tail here, I've commenced this time. Our man, oh never mind the tail. designer prime. Your lion's tail has whacked me on my rump so hard that I've no power to breathe, nor such pain disregard. Allow thy lion to remain without a tail. Thy needles have unnerved me with their sharp assail. The artist then began upon other part, and worked his instruments. They soon induced new smart. The patient screamed again, what member limnest thou now? The artist answered, 'Tis the lion's ear, I trow. The man replied, Oh, leave him without ears this time. An earless lion, not so bad. Cut short the rhyme. Anew the artist on a part assailed his hand. Afresh the bully interfered by pain unmanned. What part art now to work on? Say, my worthy friend. Oh, said the artist, now his body I append. Leave out his body, gasping, the suffering Cosween man. The pains unbearable, make short work as thou can. The artist now lost his wits, as well he might. He scratched his head, sought how to mend his plight, dashed all his needles, indigo designed to earth, in anger saying, What plagues come now to earth? A lion tailless, headless, bodiless, who's seen God such a lioner created, sure, I ween at her. A lioner created. Have patience, thou too, brother, with thy needles smart, so shall thou escape the sting of conscience in thy heart. They who have conquered, freed themselves from body's thrall, are worshipped in the spheres, the sun, the moon, stars, all. Whoever's killed pride's demon in his earthly frame, the sun and clouds are slaves to do his bidding tame. His heart can lessons give off flaming to the lamp. The very sun not equals him an ardent vamp. For God hath said in speaking of the scorching sun, these words, it swerved from them, it had a new course to run. The sharpest thorns are welcome as the rose leaf soft to finite, who to the infinite can soar aloft. What signifies to glory, the Lord of heaven, to humble self to dust, with meekness, pride to leaven? What use to learn, to formulate God's unity? What use to bow oneself before the deity? But shine as brilliantly in sight of all. Annihilate thy darksome self, thy being's fall. Let thy existence in God's essence be enrolled. As copper in alchemist's bath is turned to gold, quit I and we, which o'er thy heart exert control. This egotism, estranged from God, that clogs thy soul. And Ali's title, the victorious lion of God, the journey is recounted in Quran Surah 18, ayat 64 to 82. Also Surah 3, 153, 1869, 1870, 1873, 48, 10, 48, 18 is support, and 10 are those the verses of the covenant. And Surah 18, ayat 16. Now, let it be said that in Islam, you don't uncover your aura, just like in biblically based faith, you don't uncover. As a male, this would be the navel to the knees and around in the back, obviously. So you don't expose your rump to be tattooed. But of course, we're teaching something, so we can use such images. But then they talk about between the shoulder blades. Okay, then why they talk about the rump? Maybe it's the translator not knowing how to work it. Of course, there's message to the whole lion part, and it doesn't need this, it doesn't need this. So you'll learn less of that.